Hi, welcome to my new podcast. My name is Kathy Christensen, and if you don't know me, it's totally okay. I'm usually behind the scenes, but I've been in the medical aesthetic industry for about 25 years. And during this time, I've had the opportunity to meet the most amazing people that make up this crazy industry. This podcast is about the community behind the curtain in medical aesthetics and what these incredible people are doing to keep it all together, all with no filter. Welcome to the Zero Filter Sessions. And my guests today really need no introduction, but I'll give them one anyway, because I'm so honored to have them both here. So you may know her as the Injector Bunny, but her real name is Erika Berry, MPC. Erika serves as an international trainer for industry power players such as Allergan, Revance, and Galderma, and a leading speaker for Evolus, MERS, and InMode. Erika co-owns Moksha Aesthetics. Did I say that right?
Moksha and Resculpt. Yeah.
And Resculpt Aesthetics in Maryland. And in addition to Moksha, she also co-owns Aesthetic Intel, a training company. She's built a huge virtual community through her platform on Patreon with subscribers from around the world tuning in to learn all things aesthetics. I really got to know Erika during the first Women in Aesthetics Leadership Conference, where she spoke on an authentic brand, which she was the perfect speaker for. I still remember your talk. Incredible job. And then with us today, we have Libby Dysart. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
All right. Libby is the reason we all know Erika. She is incredible at what she does. With 8 years of experience in the aesthetic industry, Libby has established herself as one of the most successful social media strategists and brand managers in the field. She's worked alongside Erika to cultivate the Injector Bunny brand, which we all know because I'm sure people think that's like your real name, Erika, at this point.
It was her nickname, Bunny, at one point.
Oh, so. That's right. That's right. So Erika and Libby, you guys are just a dynamic duo, and I'm just so grateful to have you here today. So
thank you for having us.
I'm so happy to be here. I always say Libby is the reason why I'm alive, because she just, and I'm sure we'll get into this, but you can't do it alone. And people's brains work so differently. Libby is my brain, and she's a very critical thinker. I don't even know how to say it. She's the one that puts it all together. I'm the crazy one, just like worker bee, but she's the one that's like, Erika, no, we're not doing that, and you're not doing that, and you need to do this, and like say this instead. She's absolutely incredible. She is just a brilliant woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. I mean, you need to have that, don't you? You need to have someone who's like your better half. How did you guys meet? I feel like we're like, how did you and your husband?
Yeah, I know.
We're just joking about going to couple.
We're married. We worked at med spas together. So when I came out of the hospital, so I worked at UCSF. Went to Hopkins, went to UCSF in California, worked in the hospital setting. So different, just a different environment. The hospital setting is so easygoing, and people are like, what? But it really is. In aesthetics, it's so easygoing. You're a team. You don't compete for patients. Everyone does everything together. And then I was thrown out into the med spa world. I was like, what in the hell is happening? There's no protocols. There's no uniform. People just show up. And then Libby was getting her master's, and she was working as a practice manager. And she really took my brand from nothing to, she knows everything about aesthetics. Like, I was just blown away by her, and we became besties, and then decided to open a business together. And we are just inseparable now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
We had a little bit of trauma bonding, I guess, too, with med spas in general. It's just like, it can be, and we try to foster the least toxic. I mean, we try to foster the most positive, uplifting, good environment for our providers and patients and all of that. But when we met, we were in a not great work environment, and so that fosters even more of like a deep connection with your coworkers. And it was really just Erika and I holding down the fort every single day when we were working. And it was actually in Georgetown too that we had been working initially together. And so it's very full circle that we're back in Georgetown now, and we opened up our own practice together. So it's really, really awesome to like have that full circle moment.
And we
Oh,
talk about this all the time, but we don't get sick. I don't know how to say this. Like, we don't
oh
get
my gosh,
sick,
knock
and we
on wood.
don't like that's a thing too. We just show up, and like that's the kind of the secret. When people are like, well, what's the secret to your success? How did you live it? Like, we show up every day regardless of what's happening. Like, for example, today, hot mess. I'm hiding in my bathroom. You can't
I
even
was
see
gonna
like the
say, are
zoo.
you in your bathroom?
I'm literally in my bathroom, like hiding. But like you just show up every day regardless of how you feel. That's the
Mhm.
thing too. Like you, I guess Libby's way more like intuitive and thoughtful. I am definitely just like put blinders on, go, go, go. But we just show up regardless. Like, doesn't matter how you feel. We're tired, we're exhausted. We would love a day off, but we are not going to. We're gonna keep showing up. And that's important for our community and our patients. And that's kind of you find someone like-minded in that way, and
Mhm.
you will be successful. You do not have to be the smartest woman in the room. You just got to be the one that's showing up regardless, because that's a dangerous woman, is the one that
Yes,
shows up.
yes, no matter what, even
Yeah.
if you feel like it's even so much harder when you feel like garbage, isn't
Oh, yeah.
it? Like, so man, you don't want to mess with that woman.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Give me some Midol. Give me some Midol and a heat a compress, and I am good to go.
I saw this thing on Instagram that was this woman in her mid 40s, which is where I'm at. And she was like, she was talking about, whether you should draft young women into the army if there is a draft, what have you. And she's like, they are messing with the wrong age group of women. They should be asking like between 40 and 55. We've got so much like,
Yeah.
we've got
Oh,
so much like rage and anger and
Unresolved.
disgust.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I say if we're gonna draft people into the army, aesthetic injectors, like we or
Yeah.
anyone in aesthetics, like any practice manager, business owner, because the shit we put up with, not put up with,
Exactly.
have to deal with, and we have to like be in front of the patient. And that's what I say to people too. Like, patients don't care if you have menstrual cramps or you're going through a
Yeah.
breakup or you're tired. Like, you better show up for your patient every day, and you can't let it down. You can't let down your guard, and
Yep.
Yeah.
it's a lot of like, okay. I'm like, I'm gonna fall over
Yeah.
on this chair.
Yes. Well, and
Yeah.
that's why it's so important to like let down the filters once in a while and just be like,
100%.
oh, this is real. I'm sorry,
No.
Libby,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, I think in reminding our staff and providers in general that it's almost like it is like seeing like being a PCP or something like that, where you're providing, you know, traditional healthcare to people, except this is like very customized and very expensive.
Yeah.
So it's like that times 10, because I want them to take it as seriously as if they were seeing a sick patient, but I also want everyone to keep in mind too that these patients are paying for our services and it is expensive, and it really is sometimes to a fault. The patient is always right, and it's just this weird balance
Yes.
between service and medicine, and um so
Yes.
just we're always trying our best, to
Well, the
help
way I
everyone
put it
win.
is like, I'm always in control and I never do anything unethical or that's not safe. But if a patient has an issue, I don't care if it's Sunday morning, 11 p.m., and Libby and I are very much on the same page with, we will see the patient, talk to the patient. We will jump. I remember we were doing a photo shoot for a magazine, and a patient was having an issue, and Libby pulled out the phone like right before we're taking a photo, and everything stopped for the patient.
That
Everything
was a
stopped. We
mistake.
had like talk through what's going on, what she was
That was a
feeling.
mistake, though.
But still, like, and that's why I think where
Just
a lot
get
of
it out of the way.
people,
The first things,
you
like, you
have
have to
to.
call them. You have to just get on the phone. Like, I'm like, no, stop texting right
Mhm.
now. Like, we're gonna call them
Yes.
right now, and then, you follow up, and then eventually that ended up being something very not real. So we follow up with email, and then we never even hear back.
My
You're just
girls in
like,
the
okay, well,
background. Yeah, but that's the secret, and a lot of
right,
people skirt around it. But you just have to face the
nip it in the
reality,
bud.
because the patient is needs you, and especially when it comes to your face, people are like, "Oh, just Botox and filler." I'm like, no, no, no. It's everyone's identity. Like, people are body dysmorphic. They're going through a divorce. They're going through
Mhm.
all these things. If they have something going on, like, you have to take care of them, because it is their entire psyche. It's going to affect every aspect of their life. So if anything, you're just as important as the primary care doctor,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
If
crazy.
if anything, not even more so, because I think, who was it who was talking about this? Was it Julie at one point, she was saying, I think it was Julie Kaplan. She was saying that our patients or your guys' patients see you much more frequently at every 3 to 4 months, if they're
Yeah.
getting toxic, than they do their PCP. And I think she was saying she recognized something, or she posted a video and one of her followers, and this has happened to Erica too, that they've recognized something that looks cancerous or is abnormal. I think she recognized it herself, and then she suggested that the patient, check in with whatever it might be, a specialist on that, and it ended up being cancerous or something, and they caught it sooner because
No, the craziest thing, I did a training in Utah. It was a advanced training, and I posted the video to Patreon. And
one of
on
your Patreon
Patreon, this
members, yeah.
Australian doctor, she's a dermatologist, and she's like, that patient has a bad basal cell carcinoma right under her eye. Ended up being like severe cancer. And the patient, I texted the person I trained, they got in touch with the patient, and the patient's life was saved because this random Patreon member like texted me, called me, and it was just, it's incredible. Yeah. Like you never know.
That
Yeah,
is
so
incredible.
it is so cool cool, but that's like, try to treat the patient in a holistic way. Think about what else is going on, both medically and in their personal life. It's just a lot that they have to think about and deal with. And yeah, like Eric was saying, sometimes people are just like, oh, it's just Botox and filler, like it's not that serious, but it is, first of all, and second of all, you really should be treating the patient as like a patient, not just, someone who's getting
That's right.
so.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of what's missing in healthcare, like right now. For like a great example, I had an ear infection a couple weeks ago. I went to the doctor and he's like, I'm just going to give you a Z-Pack. And I was like, do you want to look in my ear first? She like,
Do you want to like examine?
it's like, maybe you should check it out. Like that's
crazy.
it was insane. I was like, I realize it probably will work, but could you just pretend to like.
Actually, otitis media in adults is extremely rare. Like infectious otitis media is very rare in adults, and that's why it's crazy. They just gave you azithromycin. That's insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, literally for me to have to remind, like, hey, you might want to look. And he literally sighed and got the scope out. It's like,
wow.
But I took the meds anyway, and I'm grateful. So
yeah, you're like, okay, just give me my antibiotics, I'll go.
But that is the difference. I mean, so community is super important. I think you like the fact that when you are able to post something on Patreon, your community pays attention to it. How did you start that? How have you built that trust? And I think that's one thing I've heard throughout my time in this industry is there are a lot of people that feel like they're on an island, or they're really paranoid about their competition. They think there's a ton of competition out there that's just waiting to pounce on their secrets. How do you build a community that's as powerful as yours?
Oh my gosh, a lot of luck. So I'm like such a superstitious, serendipitous, like I believe in like all these woohoo things, but 3 people in my life who kind of like knock me down constantly in a good way. One, my husband, who when I started Patreon because of Libby's like, oh, you should do, well, my husband's a big gamer. So he used Patreon and something called Discord for gaming years and years and years ago. But he's like, if you start this, you have to follow through because it's very unethical to charge someone any kind of money if you don't follow through. And I took that to heart, and I was like, I'm gonna show up every day. I'm gonna post every single day. And very rarely do I go a day without posting on Patreon. If I do, then I do 2 the next day. So if I skip like a Monday, I'll do 2 on a Tuesday. And then Wasim Garbia, who was my first mentor in aesthetics, and he basically just showed up for me like every time I had an issue in the hospital. I could go to my attending, and then when I'm in the med spa world and it was a whole different ball game, he picked up the phone on a Sunday when he was with his kids, like was just there for me. And then 3, Libby, who basically, whenever I feel like, oh, I'm so amazing, look at what I've done, she's like, it's just slow down there. It's just, and she just basically said, doesn't matter how many followers you have, and doesn't matter how big you get, how much money you make, you're here to serve a community, and you should keep that like wholesome to you and like very holy. And I really think about that all the time. Like, I don't care. I just care about serving the person next to me, because it doesn't matter about us now. Our legacy is we want to make the person the next generation better, better, and better. And so I just love it. And I honestly get a high from it. Like when people say, I had this doctor that came up to me in Miami, Florida years ago, I think it was like 5 years ago. And she said, I have 4 kids. My husband cheated on me. I lost all my money. I lost my primary care practice. I have nothing. I was able to start a med spa and start over again because of your Patreon. And she like burst into tears, and then I burst into tears. And I was like, oh my God, like to do that. And I'm very big on, I'm a feminist. I'm a woman. I'm like, I want to empower all the women around me. I'm the first woman in my family to work. So for me, I'm like, hell yeah, sister, if I can empower you to be successful and, be a mom and be a business owner, like that is incredible.
Hmm.
That is so awesome. Are you
Yeah.
like, how do you, with social media, do you like, some people will try to draw lines between their personal life and their, is that, I mean, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to share this, like, how do you balance that? Or do you just say, you know what, it is what it is? Do you see what you see is what you get? Tell me more.
Erika's a very
Libby,
balanced person. Honestly, I mean,
no,
she really is able to separate her personal and public life. It's pretty incredible.
no, I say the opposite. I say
I'm being sarcastic.
oh,
Sorry. Sorry, I just spit everywhere. I'm being sarcastic. She literally does not, I mean, both of us don't. Well, I do a little bit more to an extent. Erika, I think too, like I don't want to say you're the perfect Erica's the perfect age because she can understand and knows how to use social media and knows how to be like strategic and effective with it, but doesn't have like the same. I think people my age or a little bit younger sometimes are just so over analytical or like nervous to put themselves out there because they maybe just overconsume social media. So then they're kind of like always judging other people. So they assume that they're going to get judged. And
Mhm.
Erica's just like, Erica started Instagram. And correct me if I'm wrong, Erica, when you started in 2015, 2016, whenever it was, I don't think you've ever had like your own personal Instagram where you were just like, this is me where I'm going to share like photos of myself. Like it was always intentional. It was always, uh, to maintain a presence like professionally in aesthetics to start paving that path in terms of social media and being online and being and having that virtual community. And so when she started, it was very intentional and it was always that way for her, so it's never been anything else. Whereas like people of my generation a little bit younger are creating Instagram accounts, like personal Instagram accounts where they're like interacting with all their friends personally. And then it is hard to put yourself out there and like be so vulnerable and know that your high school boyfriend's mom's sister is like watching you, post in your like giving yourself an injection of, a peptide or something like that. And it's just like it can be a lot, but Erica's never had to really think of it that way. So but
well,
she's
and
just like naturally very good at being engaging and being transparent, being open. And to Thomas's credit, her husband, he's even though he doesn't like being filmed all the time, he's very understanding and patient and just, generous in giving his and being okay with like their life being shared too, because that is important to have that conversation with your partner or with your family or whoever it is. And um so yeah, they're dynamic duo.
well, I don't know. So first of all, I think, we gave this talk at Med Spa Pro, and this is truly, if you can master this, you will be successful. Libby and I decided long ago, we have this game, basically, if you never stop playing the game, you will win. Meaning we don't have a stop. We don't say, today we're gonna put our phones down. Like we talked to this one injector. She's like, yeah, I took the last month off of social media. And we're like, wait, what? Like, but we play the game. Like the game is our life, and everything is
Mhm.
content. Every vacation we do, every event we do, we are like tonight. I mean, for example, today we're like sending content back and forth to each other. We're doing this Moxie thing, and we're doing this Aura thing today, and we're like, what content are we going to make? We make a checklist, we make a to-do list, but we have not had a day off since 2014. That's my thing is like, you don't take a day off. My husband is
I was 19.
I had a talk with him a long time ago, and I'm like, this is my job. And I'm a black and white person.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
black or white. And I'm not, I'm either full throttle or zero. And I cannot, and Libby always is like, you can just pull back the reins. I can't, I have to do everything to the 10th degree. And I was like, if you want to be married to me and you want to do this life with me, it's going to be very much online and in this public forum. And we're doing he's doing a hair transplant with Missy Clifton in Alabama. I don't know.
I think so.
Whatever. And it's so funny. I'm like, well, we're going to do stories on it. And we're going to do reels. And he's like, I'm okay with all of that. You know what he's not okay with? You know, when you walk into a waiting room and you have like people on the TV, like the before and
Yeah.
afters,
Yeah.
that is his hard stop. I'm like, so you're okay? I'm like, but you know, when I post something on social media, it's there forever. Like, even when you take it down, it's still like on Google. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm just not okay with like them printing out my before and after and like putting it. I'm like, what? So it's interesting how that people view it, but you just have to put everything out there and someone will find you relatable. But I have to say, it's like we integrate Daxify. Like this podcast will integrate into our life and people will be more likely to watch it and view it and love us or hate us or whatever, like think about us. And I think that's the secret, and it's hard, but you know what? I'm very much anti-imposter syndrome. If you are uncomfortable or you're not confident enough, it takes practice. That's it. So if you want it, anyone can have it. Like I look at some of the social media people and the big influencers, you don't need anything. All you need to do is show up with a camera and tell everyone your story. And everyone will find commonality in something. So
I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Zero Filter Sessions. I just wanted to take a quick minute to tell you more about me and how I might be able to help you. I have recently launched Christensen Consulting to help practices like yours with operational and strategy challenges that you're facing. As someone who's been in the industry for 20 plus years and who has grown small businesses from being in the red to being multi-million-dollar companies, I am confident I can help you. Whether you feel like you're always behind in making decisions for your practice, are struggling with team management and motivation, or are assessing how to grow, scale, and make more money, whether on your own or through private equity, I can help. Please reach out to me at Kathy, C-A-T-H-Y, at cchristensenconsulting.com. That's CCHRISTENSEN consulting.com. Or check out my website at cchristensenconsulting.com so I can help you find solutions and find success. And now back to our episode. Yeah, I love that. I think, well, before we move on, I have to say your last vacation, Thomas, like his pictures, you were like, thank you for being such a great husband. But I could tell he was like, I mean, God love him, but totally the same way my husband would be, like, over it.
Kathy, do you know what I had to do? I would have to be like, okay, babe, we're gonna get ready for dinner. I need photos. I would go get him a scotch from the bar or a margarita. I would get him a drink. I'd be like, hey, babe, you're doing amazing. And it would be like a window. I'd have a 30-minute window. And then he would I could see the fumes. And I'm like, okay, I had 30 minutes to capture everything. And we have in our marriage, what we do is when we go out to eat, when we're having drinks, we're allowed to be on our phones and like do everything. And the moment the food comes, phone goes away, camera goes away, and we're present. But I was like rushing, like I'd hide in the bathroom and pretend to get ready in the bathroom, but it's actually like on my phone.
I've done that before. The bathroom, the good old bathroom on the phone trick.
I'm like, I'm having diarrhea. He's like, no, you're not. He's like, you're on your phone.
You're in there for like 15 minutes. You're like, there was a line.
You do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, he did a good job with those photos. But I will say too, the camera, G7X, we have to use the digital camera. It's so good. But
tonight we'll be using it, I'm sure.
I didn't bring it. Do you have yours?
I'll bring mine, yes.
But yeah.
Go ahead, Libby, sorry.
No, I don't know what I was gonna say about their Italy trip, but he's oh, you know what I was gonna say is what's so funny, like when I'm getting I love to get my photo taken. This is messed up to say, right? But like you get so excited because they're like, oh, I look great, like I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna share this. Like that is another secret, is we actually really love posting. We love creating content. I mean, sometimes it's forced because we do feel like not posting, we feel this like guilt of not showing up virtually or whatever it might be. But we actually love what we do. We love posting, we love sharing our lives and all of that. And so, you know, it is fun to create content together, but I will say, like, sometimes when you're the one taking the photo, I never fully understood like the men's point of view or whatever until I've been the one with the camera and being like, click, click, click. And it's kind of like when you're not drinking and you're at a party with a bunch of drunk people and they're all having fun and you're just like sober and
You're
annoyed.
like,
But
get this over with.
yeah, you're like, these people are the worst. Like,
You're the
like,
DD. You're like,
yeah, Christina, or I was taking photos of Christina and Erika over the weekend. More so Christina. She's like, can you just get one more? And I was like, are you kidding? And like the number of times I've asked other people that, and then I was like, I need to shut my mouth because I do that all the time. That's not
Yeah.
fair.
so what's it like to be a celebrity in this industry? Like, you're like a
Happy.
celebrity. I gotta
Yeah,
know.
right.
I know.
I
Me?
think
Do you want me
Yes,
to answer?
both of you. Like, what's
I'm
it
kidding.
like when I mean, I've always been behind the scenes. There are people who know me, but I've never been anywhere
Yeah.
near the industry celebrities that you both are. Like,
I'm gonna
what's
be
it?
honest, the
Yeah.
paparazzi gets tiring, you know?
Yeah. So
Bullshit.
tell me more. What's it?
Just
What do you
kidding.
mean?
There's no
think
paparazzi.
First of all, I think the secret is I am humbled 1,000 times because my husband's like, this is like, okay, so my Instagram was taken down by a hacker like 3 years ago.
It was me. I was the hacker.
And I was like in
Sabotage.
tears. We were flying to Canada that day.
No, no, no. London, I think.
Oh,
Or
London or something. Yeah, but I was like, my life is over, my career's over, everything's over. Oh my God. And my husband was laughing he thought it was the funniest thing alive. I'm like,
yeah.
this is not funny. And then when I call Libby, who Libby's like our social media manager, my business partner, everything, and she starts laughing
Okay,
hysterically.
well, first of all, it was like 5:30 in the morning. I was like, either someone's dead or Erica's Instagram's down. And then I was like, you know what? Erica wouldn't even bother me if it was this early and someone was dead. Like, she would just let me sleep. So I was like, oh no. Like, I've honestly, like, I was like, what are we gonna do?
Oh,
And
But I was
she's
like, how awesome would that be to like all of a sudden not have Instagram or something like that?
yeah, but she starts
Horrible,
laughing
but
hysterically, and then it like shakes you from your core, and you're like, okay, this is not this like it's not a big deal. Like if you really think you're a celebrity from being Instagram famous or a famous injector, and I have to say this with all of my heart, the best injectors are not the ones with the biggest following. Point and like drop the mic, like
mhm.
that is the truth. And so I don't even feel like a celebrity. I feel like Libby's mom, I don't know, Libby's like big sister. I don't even know. Like I don't feel that way at all. And I think that's the secret. And I feel like I constantly don't know what I'm doing. Honestly constantly feel lost, and I constantly feel like I'm doing the wrong thing, and I constantly feel inadequate, and that is the truth, and that is the way I live my life. But I'm okay with that feeling. Like I love the feeling of being uncertain. I'm an Aries. I love that feeling. I love being spontaneous and just feeling like I don't know what I'm doing. And not a lot of people don't like that. So I think that's the secret of being successful too. Like, I don't know, like tonight, we're gonna wing tonight. And it's just, I'm like, whatever. As long as I know what time to be there and what to wear, I'm good to go. Libby, how do you feel being a celebrity?
uh okay, well, I think that the term celebrity is interesting to use,
Yeah.
Kathy, but
I'm using it because in our industry, there are some people that kind of transcend that kind of definition, and you both are some of those. And it's interesting to
definitely
me
not
because
me.
in some
But
industries, it's like very difficult. And then, it's
yeah.
interesting to hear your perspective, what it's like in this industry.
Yeah, so I think another thing too is I wouldn't even say, I mean, obviously the Instagram and having followers, Erica having as many followers as she does, that plays a role in this more like well-known, I guess, in terms of
Yeah.
just like being like having a presence virtually. So you are just in general more well-known. But I would say that there are injectors who are booked out for months and months who don't even have that much of an Instagram following or
Yeah.
social media. And that's like totally fine if I mean,
Oh
I would
yeah.
say as a social media
For full
as someone who
time.
does social media that you do need to be active in this day and age, but like if you have an established practice and you have established patients and you've been seeing them for years and years, like your
Mhm.
book is going to get full whether you post on social media or not. I mean, if you start now, I would suggest doing social media, right? But like I would say that you know, the having patients and being able to have this full book of patients and being in our community in that way, I guess, is more of the feeling of, I guess, a celebrity than something that has to do with like an Instagram, like being an Instagram influencer or
Mhm.
something like that for her. Because she is seeing patients, and so she's having those connections with people, and it's not like she's just you know, posting online and having only virtual relationships. Like, these relationships are very real, very present. She's actually changing someone's face, you know?
Mhm.
So that is more exciting and more gratifying, I would say, than thinking about this virtual, like, influencer type of celebrity status or fame. That is much more superficial. And
Mhm.
yeah, so it's an interesting dynamic. It is really cool. I was talking to some people about this yesterday, of being able to be our own influencers for our business and how we can kind of promote our business, being online, our brand, all of that, and integrate it into also being this kind of have this influence or this presence in our community virtually too. So whereas a lot of influencers aren't able to kind of play into their business in that way, and so it is a very unique situation, and it's really cool. I'm always like, injectors have it made for social media. I'm like, you literally get to
Mhm.
transform someone's face, you could post it before and after. Like, that is the coolest thing ever. You are actually, you know, helping someone feel confident in their skin, whatever it might be. And there's so much education behind it. There's such a huge online community interested in it. And so it really frustrates me when there's injectors who just don't participate on social media. I'm like, really? Like,
I
you guys
know.
are artists. Like, this is so cool, you know? So,
Well,
but
and I think
I don't
that's
know.
what makes you both so good at it too. It's like you know exactly the kind of person I'm talking about that talks but doesn't actually live within the industry or work within the industry too much. So you're able to take your everyday experience and translate it into something that's useful to the broader audience and how they
Yeah.
can, like you said earlier in your example, like how they're actually so engaged that they're really looking at your patients and learning and figuring it out. And they're also learning that you're not perfect and you're not like, that's, I had an opportunity in my career to work really closely with Dr. Chris Zurich. And one of the things, like, he's a really well-known anatomist, and he would
Love
teach
them.
anatomy and talk about, being an injector. And one of the first things he would say is like, I've had bad outcomes. I've had, and I'm currently doing, I just had a bad outcome just last week, and here's what it is. And here, help me figure it out. How do I
Mhm.
handle it? This is what I did. So I think that idea that everything is squeaky clean and perfectly perfect is really difficult to get behind. So I think your authenticity makes it, you know, a great place for people to come and feel vulnerable and learn from you.
Yeah. I mean, number one, I just learned to add lighting to my video and to blur the background. So that was game changing. No, but I think for everyone
Yeah, you
learns.
went like sepia tone for a minute. I'm like, what's she doing?
I know, but everyone learns differently, but there are so many studies out there that you learn, your brain is way more open and you're able to make more synapses and remember things better when you come from a place of being relaxed and when you feel that you can ask questions. And for me, when I'm intimidated by someone, I'm not going to ask questions. I'm going to be super guarded. I'm just going to be a robot. And I probably am going to be so traumatized by the experience, I'm not going to remember. So I always just think, okay, my job is to train my staff, right? Train the people that we work with, and that are touching my patients that I've had for many, many years that I love and adore. And so I'm going to make sure that they're best. And the only way I'm going to do that is to make them feel very confident. And we are all, and I'm going to say this, we are all on the same level. I don't care if you're a nurse, doctor, PA, MP, front desk, garbage man, UPS man, we are all on the same level. You're not above me, you're not below me, we're all on the same. But when it comes to other injectors, if you make them feel good, then that's what you're gonna be, that's your legacy. That's what you're gonna be remembered by. It's not gonna be how many followers you had or how much money you made. It's like, truly, I want people, like, in 100 years, we're all gonna be dead, right? So in 100 years, I want people to be like, oh my God, that Erika Berry, she was goofy and silly and everyone loved her and she just was so easygoing and taught us a lot. Like, that would be cool. That's my goal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me, is there like a lighter side of being an industry leader? Is there like a funny or weird perk that you have that kind of you can
I
think
mean,
of?
the perk is I get to work with my best friend every single day.
Aw,
I get to, I mean, I physically, and that's the difference too. I physically
Libby.
love, Libby, that's you.
It's not me.
I love poking people's faces. Like a lot of people don't love the procedural aspect. Like, so I love the actual using my hands and poking and doing the procedural and the science behind things and science of aging. And I love the psychology behind aging, and I love biology and the reason we are the way we are. The thing I don't love is business, and I don't love
Mm,
building a business. I love creating a business. And I love like hands-on. I don't love like the continuing aspect of a business, and that's where Libby shines. So I think that's like the secret and the insider perk is that I have a Libby, and she has an
mm,
Erika. And so she's like, well, I am not the medical person, but she's really good at business, and she's really good at content creation. She's very good at just building people in general, and I am not. So we tag team every aspect of our life. Like if we could live together, I mean, I'm sure one day we'll have a compound and we will live together and it'll be
What?
amazing.
She's spending the night at my apartment.
I know. We're working late tonight and then working early tomorrow. I'm like, forget driving home. I'm just gonna spend the
yeah.
night and we'll do an early morning workout. But I think the perk is just I get a lot of free education.
Mhm.
And I'm very spoiled by that. And I try to then take that money I would have spent on myself and we spend it on our employees because like Cirque, I've taken his cadaver lab like, I don't know, 3 times now. And I swear to
Mhm.
God, every time I take it, I learn something new. So I always tell injectors every year, take a cadaver lab, regardless of, I don't care if you've been doing this 30 years, do it every year. But yeah, being a trainer, you get to take all the latest trainings and you learn the newest things. And that's such a perk because I feel just my brain can explode sometimes with knowledge. Libby, what do you think your perk is? Me doing your face.
I was gonna say the private jet.
Yeah, right. I know. I always joke with Shelby about it. I'm like,
I'm
that's
joking. We
the
don't have
biggest
that.
the
There's
biggest
a rumor
hiccup.
going around that Erica has a private jet, but that is definitely not true.
I
Oh
wish it
Not
was.
wow.
here.
If you do, can I like borrow it or
You know what's funny? Rana, when I first met her, she was laughing hysterically. She's like, "Do you know what some chick just came up and told me?" Some lady, random lady I've never met before in my life, just came up to me and told me Erica Berry has a private jet with a makeup artist, hairstylist, designer that flies with her to all these places. And I was like, I want that. How do I get that?
yeah.
Because the biggest hiccup in our life is we travel so much, but we
Mhm.
don't have a private jet and we're living through
We
commercial
don't.
aviation, which is like crazy like schedules, and we're constantly trying to figure out like, oh my God, how do I see a patient and then get on a plane and then be at this training? It's like we are Google Calendar experts at this point.
Yeah, so true.
Right.
The perks, I would say just being able to talk to people or just like the connections that we've built, I guess, and being able to I just have easy access to people who are also influential in this industry and or put on, conferences or whatever it might be, and to like help. I love being able to help other either business owners or social media people or even other injectors kind of grow their education, grow their brand, whatever it might be, by connecting them with people or helping share my insights and just maintaining that and having a good network is the coolest part for me, I
No,
think.
we could, I'm not exaggerating, especially being DC and the amount of senators and Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, like the people that we take care of. I'm like, oh, you just came back. Like it's crazy. Libby's grandfather's a senator, and it is hilarious. Like the people we take care of, we don't even realize. Like forget us being celebrities. They're like running countries, and we're just over here like, oh, you want your Botox? Like
Yeah.
it is kind of crazy. Like oh my gosh, you are this world leader, and here we are just poking needles in your face.
Oh
It
my
is
God,
really
that's
funny
incredible. You
it's
guys need a
weird being in
reality
DC.
show.
No, we would go to jail, Kathy. We cannot have a real. I joke about this all the time. I'm like,
It'd be all blurred. All your headphones would be blurred.
I could never have a real, like Libby, I think could have one. I don't, I just, it'd be so hard as a medical provider. Like some of the medical shows that are out there, I'm like, how do they do it? Because we are constantly talking to patients and I don't know, they would have to blur out our entire lives.
Honestly, no. I mean, like if they literally do botch, like they
Yeah.
That's
film
true. Oh
their
yeah, I guess
like
those people consent, but
yeah.
they're not taking care of like congressmen and women and like White
Yeah.
House staffers. Like,
I mean, the majority of our patients aren't. The
true.
majority of our patients consent to social media, so they'd probably consent to a reality TV show.
We'd
Especially if
need,
it's not like
yeah,
super invasive, but
we would need 5 camera crew because we wake up at like I wake up at between 5 and 6 a.m. and then the amount of things we do during the day, we'd have to like a camera crew here, there. It would be the logistics would be a nightmare.
Libby,
yeah, it
are
would
you
just
up
be
for the
us in the
challenge?
car all the time, honestly. Or be
Yeah.
Erika in the car. Like it would be one of those dash cam situations. Um,
Tell me, what would your theme song be right now? Like if you had a theme song for your career and your life right now, what do you think it would be?
Oh my gosh, definitely in a beachy song. Probably like Wake Me Up. Wake Me Up would be a good one.
wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser and I'm older.
We play, and Libby is funny because one time a patient said something, but I'm very into EDM music, mostly like bass and drum, like very heavy EDM. I don't try not to play the heavy stuff, but we have to because I grew up in the OR setting. So where I grew up in aesthetics, it was an OR, and then you would be in the OR all day with outpatient interaction, and then you'd have to like go to cosmetic clinic. But in the med spa world, you're like trying to appease your patient, but we play a lot of EDM music because it is needed to like keep you going throughout the day and just keep things positive. When people play the spa music, I'm like, I'm gonna fall
Yes.
asleep.
Yes. Yes. Even my vet now is playing the spa music. And I'm like, what? I
For the
can't.
doggies.
For the doggies and their parents, I guess, to be calm. Just be calm.
Okay, I can see
Yeah.
that. My dogs like EDM too. They love Skrillex and they love Fred again. So
What about you, Libby?
Oh my gosh, a song.
I can definitely call it some Lano or what is it called? Del Rey crap.
What?
She loves like the Gen Z, the terrible music now. Like, no offense,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Okay, relax. I was gonna say that's actually the most like millennial Gen Z probably response, and it's a terrible. They're not a good group.
Black Eyed
Is
Peas.
it is
Yes, how did you know that?
I knew it 'cause I know you love that song.
What'd you say? What is it?
Black
Black
Eyed
Eyed
Peas.
Which
Oh,
one? Black
Um,
Eyed Peas is like my go-to. Like
da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na.
tonight's gonna be a good
yeah, I
night.
know which one that is.
Yeah.
Tonight's
Yep.
gonna
There's
be
another
a
one. Oh,
good
I gotta think
night.
of which song it is, but anytime I'm like in a like not great mood or want to get pumped up, I swear Black Eyed Peas is like
Pump
just
it
yeah,
louder. Pump it
that's a
louder.
really good one. That's a good
Yeah,
one too.
I
There's
mean, you
one other
can't
song that I'm trying to
discount Fergie either. Like
love
Fergie's got some
Fergie.
bangers in there. I'm not gonna lie. So
yeah.
Fergie has not aged. I was thinking like Fergie and Gwen Stefani literally are aging backwards. Like they look so good.
yes.
They must have
I,
like baby blood in them. Or I don't know, like all the peptides. I posted this morning the peptide thing and I
yeah.
collaborated with Mimi and I was like, oh my gosh, so many like craziest peptides, hyaluronidase, peptides, PDGF are like the 3 no-goes in aesthetic medicine these days. And I was like, oh, why did I put like sometimes I post things and I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I tell Libby first? Like this is
What do you mean no goes? Tell me more. Because
they're
actually
just
my next thing I was gonna ask, and I know I only
oh
have you for a few more minutes, but it's like
yeah.
what is exciting to you right now in the industry as far as trends and treatments, and what is worrisome right now?
Oh my God. I mean, exciting is the holistic picture of the patient, which is very new in aesthetics. Like old school, like when I first started, it's like you do the Botox, you do the filler, you say goodbye, then got into lasers, and then got into ready for microneedling. And then like now we're doing all these things. Now it's thinking about changing like biohacking and
Mhm.
peptides and, you know, obviously semaglutide and tirzepatide, and has, I think, changed the world. Like I'm gonna say, it has
Mhm.
changed the world, and
It's true though.
we're gonna
I
be
think.
living so much longer just because of that peptide alone. So I'm very excited by that. I don't know. I need a lot. I wish there was more education. I'm obsessed with Dr. Shino Bay, who you need on this podcast. I'll hook you up if you want to. But I'm sure you know him, but like getting him on the podcast would be amazing.
Yes.
I'm very interested by that. I'm very much lacking the knowledge in that. So when people, I posted that story or that video today, everyone's like, where do you get your peptides from? I'm like, what do you mean? Where do I get them from? I have a provider who prescribes them to me. Like I'm not just randomly getting, so I think that's where people are going wrong. They just want to
Yeah.
self dip into it. I'm like, well, that's why injectors start to look crazy. They're dipping into their own, you know, stuff. They need to not do that. I'm very excited by PDGF, of course. I'm also scared to death of the ramifications of talking about PDGF on social media
Why?
because it's such a
I'm
why.
kidding. I'm pulling a Libby. I'm being sarcastic.
I know. I think
Funny.
it's kind of crazy because I can talk openly about peptides, and I guess some like semaglutide I can't really talk a lot about, but people come at you when it comes to something new and off label, which I understand. Like I think it's really good to question each other. I think social media takes it a step further though, and people think they can say anything behind the keyboard. And I've dealt with a person that tried to threaten to they didn't try to, they threatened my son and to kill him and to kill me and the FBI.
What?
Yeah, so this happened almost a year ago to this day. Like I guess it was October, it was mid-October. We were seeing Taylor Swift in Miami, and I was on a plane flying home, and our friend Sean, he texted me this screenshot of a video that we posted. It was like some Taylor Swift something, and this man like basically said my home address. I'm gonna chop off your toddler. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill you. And
What?
DMs, yeah. And then we got the FBI involved. And then come to find out, full circle, another provider in Richmond who had the same stalker. And it was a patient over something about, I've never even seen the patient, something about hyaluronidase. And he stalked another dermatologist in our area, and he lives 2 miles from me.
Oh God.
And
How
so
terrifying.
I know. And it's just so the internet allows people to do any crazy thing, and you have to take threats seriously, obviously. But so that scares me. But I also am the one that puts it out there. So I think it's important to like hide your address. Don't ever post. Now with AI too and ChatGPT, if you're in front of your house, people can take a screenshot of that and ask ChatGPT where that is. So don't be very careful. But yeah, things that are exciting are just holistic aesthetic medicine, which is the forefront. I think in 5 years we'll be like stepping into a spray tanning booth, but you'll just like push what you want and it's gonna like spray it on you.
Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today and for joining me on my new podcast. And I can't wait. Like, I am really hopeful I get an invitation to your compound when you live together.
Of course.
I hope I get to come hang out with you. And I'm, again, just so grateful for all you do for our industry and for being such awesome ladies and just brilliant members of the community and so giving and kind. And I'm just grateful. So thank you for being here. And I hope to see you soon.
Oh, we love you. We're so excited for everything for you too, your new business and Patreon peeps. I'm going to share it all with you. Kathy is just so incredible and has a wealth of knowledge, and we're so excited to work more with you.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Bye, Kathy.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.